with Shaun.
What happened the day you got busted, or how did you get busted exactly?
All right, so Sammy the Bull's crew got busted about a year or so before me, as did the New Mexican Mafia guys. That was 2 or 3 years before me. When they busted Sammy the Bull's crew, I was thinking, yeah, thank you, cops. You just wiped out my competition. But then I had heads up from a lawyer who's had let's say a family member in the DEA, that they were hot for me now. Those resources that were pointing on the bull were getting pointed at me. And I met a woman as well who I fell in love with. And she said, this is really dangerous. She's like, your friends are really sketchy. You know, they're always talking about doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm scared. And if you love me, you'd move away from all this. So we got a place together where no one knew where we lived. I quit the importation of the ecstasy and I thought I got away with it. However, I was naive to the statute of limitations. They don't need to catch you with the drugs. All it takes is someone from your past to tell the cops you've done a drug deal with them within a 7-year period, and they've got a case, which is what happened in my case. There's a long story of actually my top ecstasy salesperson fell out with 𝗪𝗛𝗟𝗡, and he was in fear of his life so much that he actually went to the police. So he was the main person who got the grand jury indictment going. So the grand jury indictment came down. The cops were authorized to start raiding everybody. It was May 16th, 2002. I was on my computer trading the stock market. I was going to the gym, and things like that, kickboxing and trying to be healthy and get out of all that form of lifestyle. And then just bam, 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 bam on the door. So I jump up from the computer, look through the peephole, and it's blacked out. Tempe Police Department, we got a warrant, open your door. I'm wondering, is it really the cops or is it drug dealer robbers pretending? I hear all these boots thudding up the outdoor stairs to the apartment. Bam, 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 bam. I look out the window. Oh, man. The whole complex is surrounded. Police cars, marksmen, SWAT team, everything. I go through to the bedroom then to my girlfriend. We're like, what are we going to do? Better let them in. We're walking through the living room. We get halfway through the living room, then just boom! Door flies off the hinges, bounces off the wall. All this. We're like, holy. Then they just all come in. Hands above your heads. Don't move now. Get on the ground right now. Ah! And you just see their eyes, the intensity of their eyes behind those protective visors. And if they open up on you at that moment, your life is over in seconds. So it all went in slow motion. I'm describing it here like the second lasted a long time, but it didn't. It was just a pure second. Because as soon as you see those eyes and hear them yelling at you, you just drop. And then the detective that I later learned from all the police work was my nemesis, just yanked me up by the cuffs, gets in my face. He's like, English Shaun, we've finally got you. You're a big name from the rave scene. He was just so happy. In the police paperwork later on, I learned that he was going in all these restaurants. I'd be in an Indian restaurant, he'd be sat on the table next to me, listening to me, and things like that. Wow. He showed up at all of my court appearances. He showed up at all of them. Oh yeah, big time nemesis through that cop. Yeah.
So in the end, you were sentenced to 9 years, correct? You ended up serving 6 total.
Yeah, so I ended up getting the lawyer that the New Mexican Mafia told me to get if I was ever in serious trouble. And he was a loophole lawyer. Now, cost, 6 figures, I think, low 6 figures but and I didn't have money either. It was my parents had to remortgage the house. But if it wasn't for this lawyer, I'd probably still be in prison. Because over 100 people were arrested, only 4 cooperated, which was really good. All 57 in Sammy the Bull's case cooperated. So they had a very weak case against me. There was no drugs. There was only 4 people cooperating. My lawyer said basically with the wiretaps, because they'd only been in the last year and I'd quit the importation, they didn't catch me doing any big deals. My lawyer said they've completely missed the boat. However, due to the nature of all of my charges, in the beginning I was facing, they slapped serious drug offender status on me, which carries 25 to life, and I had about 12 felonies. And if I'd have gone to trial, they could stack them if you go to trial. So that's maximum sentence times 10, so 100 years, plus the 25, 125. But in the second year, they doubled my bail bond and slapped another 10 plus charges on me. So at the peak of it, I was facing a 200-year sentence. And even though they didn't have much evidence against me, to roll the dice, and these prosecutors, the dirty tricks are absolutely mind-blowing, and to get a jury, and I had actually done the things that they were saying I'd done, but they just couldn't prove it properly. So I thought it was good when that lawyer, the New Mexico Mafia lawyer, got me a plea bargain for 9.5 years. And as a first-time non-violent drug offender who was not a US citizen, he slipped this half-time release loophole in for non-US citizens, whereby I would only have to serve 5.75 years. So getting sentenced to 9.5 years after facing 200 was one of the happiest days of my life.